Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back, I'm BB, I'm Hangin Loose, episode 9. I'm here in the Melbourne CBD with my illustrious former co-founder, a man who together we built with an amazing team, an amazing set of customers and suppliers. We built a business with $2,000 from the start. In 5 short years, we were turning over $27 million in gross revenue. It was an incredible ride featuring the BRW Fast 100, the CRN Fast 50. It was unbelievable. And the man I'm with today is Jarrod Bloomfield, a great friend. It's great to be back. Welcome to the show, mate. I'm pumped.
Well, I'm not going to say that I'm as pumped as that, but I am pumped. It's good to see you again.
It is good to see you again.
Good to be here a year on. And yeah, I'm excited. And thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure, mate. It's fucking good to have you back. And you know, we did some amazing stuff together, and we probably we entered the marketplace in a highly crowded marketplace, and somehow with our know-how and our knowledge and our street smarts, we ended up winning. So it's pretty cool. But today I wanted to talk about something that I know can help a lot of people in business, and it was how do we actually have a successful business partnership. So I'd love to, J-Bomb, just free flow with you. Break it down, give some real value to our viewers around, you know, what were some of the things that enabled us to have a great business partnership, because I think there's a lot of people out there in business today who are in partnerships, and it's something that can be challenging, and we had our challenges,
Yep.
But I want to break down the things that we can actually help people with that we were able to do on a day-to-day basis. So how's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, now one thing before we get into it.
Yep.
If anyone knows this man, which a lot of people will be watching this episode do, he's a very funny character, and I want to make sure you hang loose.
Yep.
And I know that the camera's on, but we're going to hang loose, just like we did when we had the first appreciation gala at Crown, and we prepared our whole 2-hour presentation that morning, but we floored them, right? So that's what we want to do today.
Okay.
All right.
I'm with you.
So how do we do it?
Yeah, good question. I think every partnership, and whether it's a business partnership or a relationship or a friendship, is probably built on, there's a few fundamentals. Trust really is probably the key one. And I think to trust someone, you know, they've got to be there for you throughout the thick and thin. And yeah, they've got to be there to help you. You got to rely on them. And I think it carries a lot of, you know, different aspects.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, and it took us time probably to build up trust. To be honest, definitely the first couple of years, you know, we had our arguments, and we probably had our issues, which were good and challenging. Yeah. But yeah, I think definitely trust is your key one. And if you're going to work with someone or live with someone or, you know, be friends with someone, you want an element of trust there. Yeah. And it takes time to build it though. Yeah,
look, I remember in the early days that the trust thing was like, you know, can we trust each other to deliver on certain aspects of the business? It was, you know, we both jumped into business together off a friendship, which a lot of people don't do. And then there's the different areas and roles that make up a business itself. And, you know, your background, and so strong, was around the sales and being one of the top guys in the country around selling. And then, you know, like
I wouldn't say like one of the top. Definitely say number one, right?
I'd have to say you were. I definitely have to say you were. But yeah, trust in those different roles, which is pretty important. What about, I reckon chemistry is something that we had. I mean, we've still got today, right?
Oh, you want to call it that?
But chemistry,
yeah,
I reckon.
I wasn't too good at science.
Yeah.
School.
I knew this episode would go like this, so I'm going to keep it on track, like what I do with the business, and let this guy tell the jokes.
Yeah, there was a bit of chemistry. I mean, if you call it that, like not like sexual chemistry.
No.
Just business chemistry.
Business chemistry.
Yeah.
Well, we had a natural rapport and affection for each other.
Oh, affection.
Probably you're more affectionate to me than I was to you. But chemistry. So chemistry.
Yeah.
There was something between us that we knew we could go on a journey together. We could go on a dance. We could have some fun.
And I think that comes down to personalities and, to be honest, how you've probably lived life and gone through a journey before you meet someone. Yeah. Really. And I think that's where chemistry comes from. You've got to be, I don't know, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? Normally.
It's true.
So I think that's, you know, we've had different backgrounds, but probably had our certain challenges in those backgrounds.
Yeah.
and you attract to those sort of people, I guess, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think both of us came from that, the school of hard knocks and had to overcome challenges when we were younger.
Yeah.
And I think there was that respect, which you spoke about. But then the chemistry, because I always remember, I was kind of the serious, hard-nosed, hold people accountable, be brutally honest. And then you're always there to lighten me up. And then you're always there to, kind of soften the blow for the team. And you're always able to inject humour into challenging times, and would actually personally help me quite a lot. And so when I speak about chemistry, for me, hanging out with you, I became a better person and a better leader through your softer touch, your humorous demeanour per se, and your ability to lighten the situation up when, and in business, it gets tough.
Yeah, and I think on the flip side, there were times where I thought maybe you were a bit too harsh or a bit too challenging to people. But now, in retrospect, and hindsight's a wonderful thing, right?
Gift of fools, hindsight?
Yeah, and it's good. I think we both learn from each other, and there's a time when you can be a bit softer, but there's a time where you need to be really hard.
Yeah.
Right? And that's business. And unfortunately, we spoke earlier, right? Before the interview, which we shouldn't have. Should have just been straight off the cuff, yeah?
That's the way it's meant to go.
Yeah, but that wasn't really a pre-interview.
But you took me out for lunch.
Yeah, it was just lunch, really. And then we tried not to talk about the interview, yeah?
We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. Do we?
Come on.
Okay. But I spoke about the thing that I actually miss about having a smaller business is those personal relationships and the fun. It's like a family, really. So you got your family at home, and then you go to work, and it's another family. And I think we had some really good people, and that's probably the hardest challenge, really. And on one hand, go back to your point, you have to challenge those people sometimes, and sometimes you probably don't. You need a bit of a softer touch.
Yeah. It was very much like that. So respect, chemistry, I think complementary skill sets. Pretty important, and probably frame it this way, is to actually know the roles that each of you are going to play. And I think when we both started, we kind of knew, but we had to pivot quite a bit, because as a business started off, your background was heavy in sales, and I'd never done any sales into the end user world, into the corporate world. And this probably leads to the next thing, but knowing your role, which we figured out, and knowing who's going to be responsible for what, probably something that's pretty important about having a successful partnership.
Yeah.
And allowing the other person to deliver to it as they saw fit would be something.
Yeah, I think, and you're right, we sort of jumped in, boots and all pretty quickly, and it was just an off-the-cuff conversation that snowballed into a business idea.
Yeah. Which
is good, really good, because sometimes if you don't think about it too much, right, you're more successful.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it takes, and that's what I go back to. It takes you a while to learn each other's traits and their positives and negatives and all that sort of stuff. And I think, we got through that and learnt that, and you got to. So if we go back to the topic of business partnerships, one, I think, you want to really understand the person and know the person and understand, what challenges them and what drives that person, because everyone's got different drivers. Some want to be in business just to make money.
Yeah.
Some want to really help people. Some want to drive something in the community.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I think you've got to understand the other person's drivers and their strengths and weaknesses.
100%. What about, kind of funny actually, remember how we first started the business? I think it's important to weave in some stuff around how we started. Remember we were playing pool at your place and you were toweling me up and you'd had a few drinks?
Oh, I think I won 11 games straight, really. I think you were doubling or nothing.
So
still hasn't paid me.
So it's true. You'd had about, I think you won 11 straight and you'd had about 14 Corona straight, and I was sober as a judge and you still floored me on the pool table.
Yeah, well, I will admit, I'm a good sportsman.
You're
Is that
you're like an all-round athlete.
Oh, dead set. Is that a sport?
It is. I think it's a sport, yeah.
Yeah, it's billiards.
Yeah.
Billiards, I think they call it. Not snooker.
So you'd had a lot of success in sales, right? And I remember you used to mentor me.
Yep.
And I'd had business experience in the past, owning and running another business. And what about the times where you could see me doing something or I could see you doing something, and our experience knowing, okay, you could be doing things this way, and allowing the other person to make the mistakes to learn the most? There was times where we had to let each other make the mistake, because there were some things you knew what to do and I'd go and do it, and I'd have to make the mistake to learn and grow, and vice versa. So when we go back to how to have a successful business partnership, is creating that space, I think, to allow the other person to make a mistake, to get it wrong if there's such a thing as getting it wrong. Because you know they're going to grow through it. Yet it'd be so easy to jump in and try to tell them, okay, this is what's going to happen, do this. But ego can get in the way in those times. But I think what we were able to do is allow each other to have the space to learn and grow from the mistakes we make on the journey.
Yeah. Sorry, was that the question?
Well, it was kind of like, I'd like to know your thoughts on it.
Okay, good. Bit of a statement.
It was a bit of a statement. That's something that I...
No, so I think, just to backtrack, we're very lucky, two lucky people, right? We're both really humble and both probably don't carry massive egos in business, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest with that. And most people in business who start a business, who want to change the world in business, have really big egos attached to that, right? And I don't think we did. That's lucky. That's one thing that if you've got this massive ego driving you, you're gonna have conflict with a lot of people.
Yeah,
conflict. But I think on the mistake front, you do have to really allow people to make a mistake once or twice before you actually even really bring it up with them. Or you can, bring it up with them, but they don't need to be challenged. Mistakes are hard enough on us as individuals, right? Mm-hmm. Without someone sitting there going, I told you this, I told you that.
Yeah.
And if the person is a good, smart person, right, they'll learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
Some people won't, and they never will, and that's not our job to teach them how to learn.
Yeah.
And how to recover from their mistakes, but a lot of people will learn, the majority. So, back to your point, I think we did let each other make mistakes in our different fields. So, as you said, I was, a sales-focused guy. You were more of a business, finance, operation-y, marketing sort of guy.
Yeah. And
at times, we had to cross those fields, and that's what happens. And, I made heaps of mistakes.
Yeah.
And, so did you.
Yeah.
But the approach, I think, was never... the approach, I don't think, was ever, you made this mistake and, this and that. I think it was great feedback. And I think one thing you allowed me to do as a business partner, or one thing you taught me, was feedback. Feedback isn't negative, and it's not something you should take on board and take personally and, go and hide and think people are having a go at you. I think feedback, if we lived in a world where everyone could just give feedback and be open and honest and say, hey mate, do you know what? Like, people don't like it when you punch them in the face.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think you taught me that. And I think that's where mistakes come in. And I think that's where you've got to be able to give feedback. A lot of people can give feedback, but a lot of people can't accept it.
Can't accept it. Yeah. No, it's cool. So it's chemistry, respect, allowing each other to make mistakes. What about support? What about personal support?
Yeah, I think that happens a lot, right?
Like outside of work, whatever challenges got on in our personal life.
Yeah.
Which everyone's got.
Yeah, everyone's got
stuff, right?
And I think it's really important, and this goes back to being humble and being, nice guys that really want to help other people. I think you've got people that want to help other people and people that, pretend they do, but they don't really.
Yeah.
And I think we had our challenges, right? Personal challenges along the way.
Yeah.
And you've got to have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Whether that be at work or a friend. And the good thing with us is, right, we're friends and work together, and so we spent the majority of the time together and speaking.
We were married.
I'm divorced, mate.
Well, now me and you are divorced. We've divorced from each other.
Yeah, it's been good.
It's I miss it. I miss hanging out with you every day. That's why I would. That's why I'm so excited about this.
Well, that's one thing I don't miss, to be honest. I do miss. Look, what do I miss? I miss the smaller startup phase, and you don't actually know where you're going.
Nah.
And this is the thing too, if we're speaking of budding entrepreneurs, right? You can't path out a journey and think, you're going to stay on the freaking highway and that's where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen. And I think you've got to be prepared for a lot of challenges and a lot of dirt roads along the way, really. And roadworks and shit.
Yeah.
People try and plan out something that's going to happen. We tried to plan it out, and it's probably different to where we thought. If anything, we were probably more successful than we wanted to be, which is lucky. I
don't know about luck.
And skillful.
Yeah, quite skillful. Yeah.
But you do need luck, right?
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush.
We worked hard. I disagree with the whole luck thing. We just freaking worked hard.
Really, I tend to disagree. I think you need luck.
Well, I'd like to really support you in your in your statement.
No, I think you do, but
there were some elements of luck, but we do the work to make sure that the odds were in our favour for the chips to fall the right way. Yeah,
and it's like, okay, I can go buy 2 million lotto tickets, I'll win the lotto. Is that lucky? No, you've done the pre-work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you do need pre-work to create your own luck. And there are other elements of luck that can happen.
What about culture? Like having a good culture and a successful business partnership.
As in our culture or the business culture?
Answer however you want.
Well, what's your background? Turkish, yeah?
I've got Turkish blood running through me with an Australian upbringing. Yeah.
I'm Greek Orthodox, christened.
You don't look very Greek.
I know. Really funny, hey? Big fat Greek wedding. I sort of did. But business culture is important and is challenging as well. But I think, I don't think, you have to get the right people to help drive culture as well. And it's not, they might not be the sort of people that you picture yourself with at the time or at the start of a business. But culture, leadership creates culture, culture drives itself really, right? In a business, especially when you get a bit bigger. And we can stand there and say, we want this culture to happen or we want this to happen, but you need everyone else in on it or it's not going to work. And I think importantly, this is probably one of your strengths where you really wanted to drive that. And for me, I was probably a bit naive in that area because I'd come out of a business, really independent guy. The culture was, I'd say, okay. I wouldn't say it was, the best culture or the worst culture. But to me, that wasn't important, right? To you, it was. And I think you instilled that in me to make it really important. And I think that's, for me, I still want that culture. Yeah,
it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we did some things, like we backed our team to the hilt. Like, there's a number of people who were within our team, and they were like really some rough diamonds who, really wanted an opportunity, and we gave them the opportunity. We offered an enormous amount of support, mentoring, coaching, everything. Whatever anyone wanted to be successful, we would back them in on it. And I think in a lot of corporate organisations, there's these approval layers that people need to go through to get personal development, to help people grow. And we were just like, team, if you need anything to be more successful within the organisation, but more importantly, outside the organisation, then we'd be happy to invest. And I think from a partnership perspective, this helped us create leaders where at different times when we were out winning business, putting on events, doing what we did, it took that responsibility away and away from us and put that in the hands of our team. And from that, made it a lot easier for us from a partnership perspective. So,
well, I think even things like, little things like, we'll pay for a gym membership, will support people who, you know, have had troubled times and need to see counsellors. And I think, and as much as people, a lot of people don't even want to admit that they need that, right? And I think that's where leadership comes in and our partnership comes in. We got to drive an example that says, look, I've been to a freaking counsellor.
That's right, 100%.
And I tell people that it's not a secret.
Yeah.
Like, I've got millions of things going on in my head. Yeah. Sometimes I just need someone external to go decompartmentalise that, right?
That's a big word.
So I'm like, I think that's important. And people shy away from that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to see a psychologist. No way.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So we were very big about being open and vulnerable about our shortcomings and our personal challenges that we had, and lead by example. Very interesting that you bring that up, because then it creates an environment where other people look within and go, well, if it's good for those two and they're leading the company, then it's good for us as the employees. And in the corporate world, and that was one of my challenges, why I you know, in our capacity within Engage, I was like, you know what, I need to go and do what I need to do. Because I saw so many people doing things they weren't passionate about and wearing masks. And I'd love to be able to, you know, wave a magic wand and have everybody take their mask off, reveal all their challenges and vulnerabilities, and then go and do something about it. Because it would make businesses better, to make businesses prosper, to make people prosper and flourish too. And, you know, our partnership, back to the partnership thing, we're both equally able to open up and share challenges, which created the environment and space for our team to do that as well. So,
and go back on culture and team and partnership, right? The team or the culture drives off trust. And if you're going to be honest with your people or people in business, they're going to trust you more. You've got to be honest. But they don't like people that come in and bullshit every day, right? So you've got to be honest and vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because people need to see you vulnerable as well, right? We're not robots.
Interesting that we're not robots. Yeah. Yet the world is becoming more and more
autonomous.
So we're back, mate. We're back together.
All right, so only done?
Only temporarily. Not yet. Not yet.
Thought we'd finished.
Just a few flashback moments I'd love to just, you know, share. I touched on it before, the Engage Appreciation Galas, which are an annual event at Crown Casino. It started off at Box on Collins, one of your favourite haunts.
Yep, still going there. Great restaurant. Adrian's go check out Box on Collins. 189 Collins Street. 189 Collins Street. Seafood. The best lobster and prawns you could ask for. Really fresh. So we had the first Engage Appreciation Gala there, which is all about saying thank you to our customers and creating community and also paying it forward. And now it's held at Crown in the River Room. Yes, River Room. Now our very first... our second. It was our second one, but it was our first one there. And I think something around the business partnership, and this is what I'm getting to with this, I didn't mean it for that to happen, but we never took each other too seriously. Well, I probably at times could take things a bit too seriously, but you quickly like... Yeah. But the first appreciation gala at Crown, we had to prepare for an event. We had 100 people coming along. We had vendors who were sponsoring the event. We had a whole lot of customers coming along. And I remember in the weeks leading up to it, I was saying, all right, Jabon, we've got to get together our presentation. And he's like, well, we'll be right. And I thought, oh yeah, we're going to be right. We'll do it on the night before. So the night before, I'm thinking about all these ideas. And then he's like, oh, we'll just do it in the morning. So the event was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It kicked off. And here we were literally in the morning putting together the deck for that event. And it was a very, very loose deck with images. Oh, because we had, I think Pure Storage sponsored it. And Dazza spoke. And Jade, that's when Jade was there. Yeah. And that was really the team. It was at the time. Yeah. And then we got up and it was like a comedy act. It was more of a comedy club. For an hour. Yeah. And people absolutely loved it. Yeah. I don't think we spoke much about IT. Well, I could never speak about IT. I was like... I actually don't think we did. Oh, no, we spoke a bit. Like we threw a couple of things in there, which were important. Yeah. But, I think that was... And again, back to being humble and being all-round decent people, right? Yeah, that was people in the corporate world actually like that.
They do. They enjoy the vulnerability and the honesty. It's refreshing for a lot of people. So
so that was Gala number 2, I reckon.
Gala 2, yeah.
And then the last one would have been 5 or 6. 6, it must have been 6.
Yeah.
But you obviously weren't in the business then. You've been retrenched, which is unfortunate. I was still there. And we did, and I had great, so similar story, right? This is why I go to this story. So Graham from Perth, from Cirrus Networks, who acquired Engage. Gilly. He flew in at lunchtime without seeing anything about the Gala, right? And I'm like, oh, no, here we go again. But smashed it. You were there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, I got invited. It was great.
Yeah, and he did well.
He did really well.
Yeah, I think we did a survey after the event. I'm just going to do a bit of a shameless plug. We did a survey after the event, right?
You did.
And we asked, there were 6 speakers, I think, on the night.
Yeah.
And we asked all the clients to vote on the best speakers.
Yeah.
And you had 39% of the respondents said I was the best speaker.
Yeah.
Which, I was really humbled by. But on the other hand, I sort of expected it.
Well, I can see why you expected it.
Yeah.
Because as the participant, or the people who came, were looking on the survey, they were like, but hang on, where's BV? And so you got all the people who normally vote for me, default said, oh, we'll just vote for Jarrod. So that 39% was probably half of those would have been voting for me, mate.
Well, and I think in business, this is one of the challenges we're going to have, because I'm going to disagree.
And so you've got to be prepared to disagree to have a successful business partnership.
But you spoke for like a minute, and you cried.
Actually, that was a really significant moment.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me about it. How'd you feel at the time?
I was actually very emotional.
Yeah.
Walking away from the business and not being able to say goodbye to all the people who'd been involved, the customers, suppliers, staff, because it was literally so quick. And as you know, that was such a special event in my heart. I was really passionate about it. And then I was umming and ahhing about coming, remember? I was like...
that is a typical thing for you.
At times, yes, correct. But then Jarrod gave me a bit of a rocket and said, you got to come. And so, it wasn't about me, it was about everybody else. And so I came, and then it was great. Fortunately, you called me up and said a few words and said thank you to everybody there. And
you did get to say a thank you, which is good.
Yeah, no,
that would have been hard. And I think, you know what, as hard as it was, that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
That's how the cookie crumbles, mate.
I'm just going to cop it.
So, mate, just about to wrap up. We've got 2 more things we need to do. I want to hear the final word from you, and then you got to do the Hangin Loose shucker. So I don't even know if you know what a shucker is, but I did give you Bell Surf Wax at lunchtime, and you're like, now what do I do with this?
Yeah, or is that the shucker?
No, that's not the shucker.
Oh.
And I'll say this to you, you're going to rub it on your surfboard when I take you down the Great Ocean Road.
Yeah.
We do the pilot. So, a final word, anything you want to tell the viewers on business, how to have a successful partnership, what's going on now, whatever you want.
Yeah, I think final word, I'll say thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you, brother.
Really, really, I guess, happy with where you're going. I think you're going to be really successful. As I said to you the other day, anything you strive towards, you'll be successful at. So, well done. And I hope, these shows keep going for a long time, because it sort of amuses me a lot, which is good. But I think to the viewers, who are your viewers?
Well, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah. So what sort of audience are we going at?
Well, I was having
adults, seniors.
I was having a strategy meeting last night around Hangin Loose and the game changer stuff, which we kind of figured the Hangin Loose podcast was really started to take the piss a little bit.
Yeah.
Show people you don't need to be an expert.
Wow, you got the wrong guy here then.
No, how not to be an expert.
Exactly.
You
got the wrong guy.
I got the right guy. And not to be.
Yeah, but I'm an expert.
Wow, you got me. One step ahead. But it's a kind of a combination. So a lot of entrepreneurs, startups, small business owners attracting to this.
Yep.
And then I was kind of like, well, there's message and there's experience that I've got and the people like yourself have got in the the medium-sized to enterprise type businesses where how to have a successful business partnership is very, very meaningful to them. Probably maybe even a little bit less so to the startup entrepreneurs on their own. So,
all right, cool. Got it. So, a couple of messages I will say to your viewers. This is gonna be a global one, by the way. Wait till you see it then.
Okay.
This will go to Trumpy. So yeah, be humble, be yourself, really, as a message. If you're going to start a business, and this is the people that, you know, strive to want to start a business, try not to focus too much on money. And I know you're going to need money, and it's easy to say once you've built a business and been successful. But if that's your only driver, probably going to fail, unless you know daddy and mummy are supporting you, and they're going to fund it. But try not to focus on money. Focus on, you know, your customer outcomes, your staff happiness, I think, are your two things. Customer outcomes, staff happiness. And yeah, be yourself, really. Like, as BV said at the start, there's a lot of people with a mask on, and look, to be honest, it took me a while to not be fake, really. And I tried to live in this sort of fakey, corporate-y, salesy world. And then I thought, you know what? And it was actually BV who brought me out of my shell. Thanks again.
Thanks. Like a ninja turtle out of his shell.
And he said, mate, people love you for you. Not for when you try and be corporate-y or try and be ultra smart. Look, I don't have to try and be ultra smart, which I already am, right? But I used to try a bit harder. So say my IQ was 160, I'd try and get to 165, right? But I'm not going to do that now. So I'm happy with 160. Yeah, so he said to me, people love you for you, and if you just and that goes back to when we spoke about the gala, and he said, just be yourself, mate, because you'll actually find that more people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so be yourself really was that message if you got lost in the dialogue there.
Yes.
And that's really it, you know, and support your family, I guess, is another one. Whether you're working or not working, or be there for your family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And, oh, sorry.
There you go.
No, I thought it was a joke.
All right, one last thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what the shaka is?
No.
That's the shaka. It's good vibes in Hawaiian.
Okay.
So, can you do it? Because what you got to do now is you've got to stare down the barrel. It's here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go, yeah. But like...
Like that?
Oh.
Oh, no, it's thumb. I can't...
Yeah, you used to always do that one, which is like the...
This one?
That's it. What's wrong with your hands? You're like Donnie Elgin's hands.
What's wrong with you?
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
You!